Our next DNC meeting in August, we will vote to ratify Chair Martin's appointments to the standing committees. Today's elections will help finalize the full proposed slate for that meeting. Here's how the process works. In May, Chair Martin released a partial slate of 60 at-large DNC member nominees and his initial appointments to the standing committees. The candidates you select today will be added to Chair Martin's standing committee slates for consideration and ratification by the full DNC in August. This process is historic. It marks the first time that members of the DNC are playing a direct and significant role in shaping these slates. I'm trying to adhere and follow the script. Actions like this are one step forward towards democratizing the DNC. Together, we have the opportunity to ensure all voices are being heard in our party. Democracy is never simple and certainly cannot be accomplished alone. I want to thank you for your time and for your participation today. Before we begin, we will establish a quorum, which is 40% of the membership in person or by proxy. Mr. Secretary, the quorum, we will determine the quorum by voting with Election Buddy, which is the same software you use for the vice chair vote in June and the technology we will use for voting today. I'll ask staff to give us an overview of the voting system.
Thank you, Chair. We'll have slides up in just a moment and we can run through this. Wonderful. So by now you will have received an email which contains your unique access key and your password, which is a 4-digit PIN. To begin the voting process, you can click on the voting link in the email, which is shown here. The voting link will take you to the ballot page of Election Buddy. All ballots will appear on this page throughout the meeting. The voting link will remain the same, so once the votes are active, they'll appear on that page. During an active vote, the ballot page will have a button to click, which will bring you to your ballot. So you'll see the example here for the quorum vote. And the first time you cast a vote, the system will ask you to log in with your unique access key and password. If you keep the voting page open, you will not need to re-enter your access key and password for each ballot. So you only have to log in once for this meeting. But don't worry, if you close the voting page, you can always log back in and cast your vote. You will be brought to the ballot page where you make your selection. And once an option has been selected, the button on the right will turn blue. Then you can click continue. The next page will allow you to review your vote and edit it if necessary. Once reviewed, once reviewed and confirmed, click submit ballot. The following page shows you a confirmation code that confirms you've successfully submitted a vote. You can click next vote to move back to the main ballot page. And that's it. I'll turn it back to you, Chair.
Thank you so very much. Members, the ballot is in your email and it's also in the Zoom chat. The ballots will remain open for 5 minutes. Please message election support in the chat if you have trouble accessing the ballot. Thank you, and we'll be back shortly.
There are 2 minutes remaining in the balloting period.
In order to allow every member to vote, I'm exercising my discretion as chair to extend the voting window by 5 minutes.
We have 2 minutes remaining. The ballot has now closed.
Members, the ballot is now closed. We will have a toll for you momentarily. $125 quorum ballots have been submitted. I'm pleased to report we have a healthy quorum. Thank you, members. Now the proposed rules from Chair Martin and the overview and agenda. Our first order of business is to approve the proposed rules from Chair Martin for advisory election that will govern today's election. You received the rules in a 7-day meeting notice. DNC staff will also put them in the chat. I'll go over some of the key components of the process. The window for nominations closed on June 30th, and nominations will not be accepted from the floor. Before each vote, you'll have the chance to hear from the candidates joining us today. Candidates have been afforded the opportunity to share 1-minute remarks ahead of each election. We will elect the standing committee election nominees in the following order: Credentials Committee, Resolutions Committee, then Rules and Bylaws Committee. In order to serve on a standing committee, an individual must be a member of the DNC. If a non-DNC member wins a standing committee election and does not secure an at-large seat, the second highest vote getter will receive the nomination. We currently have 2 candidates who fall under this category. Diana Bourgeois is running for a Credentials Committee seat, and Paige Gleason is running for a Rules and Bylaws Committee seat. If Diana and Paige are successful in their elections and do not win a subsequent at-large election, the second highest vote getter will receive the nomination. If there is a tie for second place, there will be a runoff election between the next 2 highest vote getters. As a reminder, these elections determine who will be added to Chair Martin's slates. No position is considered final until the full DNC membership meets in August to vote to elect the at-large nominees and ratify the standing committee appointments. Additionally, Chair Martin will not appoint an individual to more than one standing committee. Once a candidate has been nominated to a standing committee slate, they will be removed from future standing committee ballots. Proxy votes will be accepted. All proxies were required to be submitted to the Office of the Secretary by Saturday, July 12th. No additional proxies or transfer of a proxy will be accepted at this time. We will be utilizing a plurality system. The highest vote getter will win. If only one person is nominated for an office, the chair can declare the nominee is elected by acclamation. In the case of a tie, an additional ballot will be conducted between the 2 candidates receiving the highest number of votes. We will now vote to approve the proposed rules for Chair Martin for this advisory election. This vote will be conducted exactly like the quorum vote. Please return to the voting page on your web browser or mobile device. The second vote will appear automatically. If you've been logged out of your voting account, don't worry. You can log back in by clicking the link in your email or in the chat. Before we move to a vote, does anyone have any questions or concerns? I see someone is saying their system is not working. Staff, are you aware of this?
We're troubleshooting. Thank you.
Okay. Are there any questions? Hearing no questions, the proposed rules from Chair Martin for advisory election vote is now open. You will have 5 minutes to cast your vote. Please message election support in the Zoom chat if you have trouble finding the email with your ballot or any other issue with the voting. Thank you, and we'll be back shortly.
2 minutes remaining. The ballot has now closed.
Thank you. Members, the ballot is now closed. We'll have a total for you shortly. We have the total now. 120 ballots were cast in favor of approving the rules. 0 ballots were cast in opposition to approving the rules. The rules package has passed. We will now move on to the election for the Credentials Committee member. The following candidates have been nominated for the Female Credentials Committee position: Diane Grover. Diane is a female DNC member from Oregon. Karen Payne. Karen is a female DNC member from Massachusetts. Johnny Roebuck. Johnny is a female DNC member from Arkansas. All candidates have been afforded the opportunity to share 1-minute remarks. Timing, the timekeeping will be done by staff. We will begin with Diane Grover. Diane, your microphone has been unmuted and you are now recognized to speak.
My name is Diane Grover, and I'm a proud DNC member from Oregon. I am asking for your vote to serve on the Credentials Committee from the Women's Caucus. As an immigration attorney, I have had the privilege to spend my entire career fighting for people from more than 80 countries, standing up for justice, dignity, and the rule of law. I believe I bring a unique and vital perspective to this work, especially at a time when fairness and inclusion are more important than ever. Our party is strongest when everyone has a voice. On the Credentials Committee, I will bring my legal expertise, my extensive experience within the Democratic Party, and my deep commitment to equity to ensure our processes reflect our values and are always done with integrity, transparency, and unwavering fundamental fairness. I am Diane Grover, and I would be honored to earn your vote. I will work together with all of you to continue building a Democratic Party where every person counts and every voice matters. Thank you.
Thank you, Diane. We will next hear from Karen Payne. Karen, your
Good
mic.
evening. Good evening, everyone. Thank you, Chairwoman Zuckerfer and members of the Women's Caucus. Thank you for this opportunity to introduce myself. I'm Karen Payne, and I am honored to be running for the female seat for Credentials Committee. I hope you all took a chance to review my emails or listen to my voicemails, and I'm especially thankful for the folks who took the time to speak with me on the phone and share their thoughtful questions. The Credential Committee plays a critical role in protecting the integrity of our party to ensuring fairness to delegate selection and resolving disputes with objectivity and transparency. I bring that commitment to this work. I back that commitment with serving on the Massachusetts Democratic State Party's Credentials Committee, the Bylaws Committee, and the Rules Committee. That work has prepared me to share with integrity, uphold values, and ensure all voices are represented fairly. I respectfully ask for your vote and thank you all for your commitment and dedication to this caucus and to our party. Thank you.
Thank you, Karen. Next, we'll hear from Johnny Roebuck. Johnny, your microphone has been unmuted.
Hello, DNC Women's Caucus members. I'm Johnny Roebuck from Arkansas, asking for your vote so that I may represent you on the Credentials Committee. I'm honored to be nominated by our caucus chair, Lottie Shackelford. I have a record of loyal service to the Democratic Party, and I currently co-chair the DNC Interfaith Council. I have served as a national committee woman since 2020, and I'm a former state legislator and House Majority Leader. I understand the critical role of the Credentials Committee, and I pledge to be fair, accessible, and will listen to your concerns as I carry out my responsibilities. I respectfully ask for your vote for Johnny Roebuck.
Thank you, Johnny. All of you all had seconds left over, so thank you. That concludes the nominating speeches for our candidates for the DNC Credentials Committee. The Credentials Committee member vote is now open. Please return to the voting page on your web browser or your mobile device. The vote will appear automatically. If you've been logged out of your voting account, don't worry. Again, you can log back in by clicking either the link in your email or in the chat. You now have 5 minutes to cast your vote, and we'll be back with you shortly.
2 minutes remaining.
I think we're still having a little issue with everyone voting, so I'm going to extend the voting period by 2 minutes in order to allow every member to vote. I'm exercising my discretion as chair by extending the voting window by 2 minutes.
The ballot has now closed.
Caucus members, the ballot is now closed. We will have a total for you momentarily. A total of 125 votes were cast. Johnny Roebuck, 71.5. Diane Grover, 34. Karen Payne, 17. Johnny Roebuck received the most votes. Congratulations, Johnny. We will now move on to the election for Resolutions Committee member. The following candidates have been nominated for the Female Resolutions Committee position. Diana Bourgeois. Diana is a female candidate from Louisiana. Diana is not a current DNC member. She is, however, running for an at-large position in the Southern Caucus. If Diana is successful today, but does not secure the Southern Caucus at-large election, the resolution's nomination will go to the second highest vote getter. Ada Briceño. Ada is a female DNC member from California. These candidates have been afforded the opportunity to share 1-minute remarks, speaking in the order that has been determined alphabetically by last name. We will begin with Diana Bourgeois.
Chair, it doesn't look like Diana is on the call currently.
Thank you. With that, we will proceed with the next nominee. We will hear from Ada Briceño.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I'm Ada Briceño. I'm an immigrant from Nicaragua, a former hotel worker, a lifelong union organizer, and a 2-term DNC member from California. I'm co-president of Unite Here Local 11, representing housekeepers, cooks, and dishwashers. Yes, we fight for better wages, but we also help shape elections by knocking on doors for Democrats and passing groundbreaking legislation. We have won living wages, panic buttons for women in the workplace, and more. During my tenure as chair of the Democratic Party of Orange County, the 6th largest county in the nation, we've made tremendous change. I seek your support to serve the Resolutions Committee at a time when rising greed, corporate greed, and authoritarianism, we need voices who have taken on billionaires and won. I bring the voices of immigrant workers into every fight because our lives and stories must shape the Democratic Party's future.
Thank you, Ada. That concludes the nominating speech for our candidates for the DNC Resolutions Committee. Our rules don't say that you must speak. The Resolutions Committee member vote is now open. Please return to the voting page on your web browser or your mobile device. The vote will appear automatically. If you've been logged out of your voting account, don't worry, you can log back in by clicking either the link in your email or the link in the chat. You have 5 minutes to cast your vote. Thank you. We'll be back shortly.
2 minutes remaining. The ballot has now closed.
Caucus members, the ballot is now closed, and we'll have a total for you momentarily. Caucus members, a total of 122 votes were cast. Ada Brenshaw, 113. Diana Bourgeois, 7.5. Ada Brenshaw received the most votes. Congratulations, Ada. Now, caucus members, we will now move to the election for Rules and Bylaws Committee member. The following candidates have been nominated for the Female Rules and Bylaws Committee position. Brenda Breakworth, Brenda is a female DNC member from Massachusetts. Leah Daughtry. Leah is a female DNC member from New York. Paige Gleason. Paige is a female candidate from Louisiana. Paige is not a current DNC member. She is, however, running for an at-large position in the Southern Caucus. If Paige is successful today, but does not secure the Southern Caucus at-large election, the Rules and Bylaws nomination will go to the second highest vote getter. If there is a tie for second place, we will conduct a second ballot with the next two highest vote getters. Michelle Johnson. Michelle is a female DNC member from Louisiana. Selena Vickers. Selena is a female DNC member from West Virginia. The candidates have been afforded the opportunity to share 1-minute remarks. Speaking order has been determined alphabetically by last name. We will begin with Brenda Brathwaite. Brenda?
Good evening, members of the Women's Caucus. My name is Brenda Brathwaite, and I'm honored to be speaking with you about my candidacy for a seat on the Rules and Bylaws Committee. This committee plays a critical role in ensuring fairness and transparency in governance of party affairs, amending the charter and rules and bylaws to reflect the values of the party, effectively overseeing state compliance, protecting the integrity of the presidential nominating process, and resolving disputes with assurance and objectivity. I bring clarity, equanimity, commitment, and collaboration skills to this work, and respectfully ask for your vote. Thank you for taking the time to read my letter, listen to my voicemail message, or speak directly with me. I valued these connections. My letter detailed the genesis of my interest in running for this seat, as well as my recent service on the DNC resolutions and affirmative action outreach committees for the National Convention and work with the Massachusetts Democratic Party. Thank you.
Thank you, Brenda. Next, we will hear from Leah Daughtry. Leah, your microphone has been unmuted. Please begin.
Thank you, Madam Chair, for your nomination for this critical role. And good evening, sisters. The Rules and Bylaws Committee plays a critical role in shaping the foundation of our electoral process, from the primary calendar and rules to delegate selection. The RBC doesn't just set procedure, it sets the tone for how inclusive, transparent, and democratic knowledge as a former staffer, an organizer, a faith leader, and current Rules Committee member to work collaboratively with DNC leadership to ensure our rules empower grassroots engagement, protect voting rights, ensure accountability, and maximize turnout in every community. The far right is organizing. They're changing laws, restricting access, and trying to rig the game. We can't afford internal disarray or performative politics on our side. We have to grow this party and win. The RBC must be laser focused on that goal and develop rules that work, that allow us to do just that and put us in the best position to win. I'm committed to that work and to representing you, and I humbly ask for your vote. Thank you.
Thank you, Leah. Next, we will hear from Paige Gleason. Is Paige available?
Yes, I'm here. Yes, thank you very much. Hello, everyone. My name is Paige Gleason, and I live in New Orleans, Louisiana, although I'm joining you today from the Pocono Mountains in Pennsylvania. It would be my honor to serve on the DNC Rules and Bylaws Committee. I've often been called a bylaws nerd and love working with rules and bylaws to ensure bodies operate fairly and effectively. I was a member of the DNC from 2008 to 2011. I resigned my DNC position when I became the first woman executive director of the Democratic Party of Georgia and have served on many women-focused boards over the years, including the Georgia Democratic Women's Council, the Georgia Federation of Democratic Women, NARAL Pro-Choice Georgia, Georgia's Win List, and Emerge Louisiana. I've been actively involved in drafting, revising, and interpreting rules and bylaws for those organizations, as well as a number of nonprofit organizations and even my Mardi Gras crew, the Crew of Goddesses. Again, my name is Paige Gleason. I believe I would make an excellent addition to the DNC Rules and Bylaws Committee, and I humbly ask for your vote. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Paige. Next, we will hear from Michelle Johnson. Michelle? Is Michelle available?
Chairwoman, it doesn't appear as though Michelle is on the call.
Okay, thank you. Next, we'll hear from Selena Vickers. Selena, your microphone has been unmuted. Please begin.
Great. Hello, I'm Selena Vickers, and I'm a social worker in West Virginia. I believe this is a moment for real, meaningful progress in our party. Back on February 1st, nearly everyone running for leadership roles agreed on one thing. We can't keep doing business as usual. If we want to win elections and earn the trust of voters, we have to be accountable and bold enough to do some things differently. The Rules and Bylaws Committee has a direct impact on how the DNC does its very important work, and missteps can damage the perception of the party. The RBC work is critical in building trust with our voters, and for the first time, we get to vote on our own representation. I support Chair Martin's reform proposals because they prioritize transparency, fairness, and voter trust. Values, I believe, should guide everything that we do. If you're looking for someone grounded in those values and committed to meaningful growth, I'd be grateful for your vote. Thank you.
Thank you, Selena. That concludes the nominating speeches for our candidates for DNC Rules and Bylaws Committee nominees. The Rules and Bylaws Committee member vote is now open. Please return to the voting page on your web browser or your mobile device. The vote will appear automatically. If you've been logged out of your voting account, you can still log back in by clicking either the link in your email or the link in the chat. You now have 5 minutes to cast your vote. We'll be back shortly.
2 minutes remaining. The ballot has now closed.
Members, the ballot is now closed, and we'll have a toll for you shortly.
Chairwoman, the vote total should be with you.
Okay. Thank you. A total of 130 votes were cast. Leah Daughtry, 86. Selena Vickers, 28.5. Brenda Braithwaite, 10. Michelle Johnson, 2. Paige Gleason, 2. Leah Daughtry received the most votes. Congratulations, Leah. Women's Caucus, hardworking members, that concludes our business for today. Congratulations to Johnny for credentials and Ada for resolutions and Leah for rules and bylaws representing the Women's Caucus. Those of you who have been elected tonight will be added to Chair Martin's standing committee slates. Your service is so appreciated, and it is also essential to the work ahead. I want to thank each of you for your meaningful participation in this process. Today's meeting was one step forward to our continued efforts to build a more inclusive and representative Democratic Party. I look forward to seeing everyone in Minneapolis for the August DNC meeting. Without objection, this meeting is now adjourned. Thank you.